everyone, welcome back to the Tiger Den. I hope you guys are all doing well. I know I streamed yesterday, and normally I don't stream on Tuesdays, but I'm going to go ahead and stream today just because of the fact I haven't been streaming for the last few weeks. I am getting all my brushes out to prepare for what I'm doing. So one of my friends, Midnight's super sweet. If you guys haven't been following them, go follow Midnight Rider Sabi. But anyway, had turned me onto this thing called ACEOs. Let me get up the actually unabbreviated name because I am a doof. Let's see here. ACEOs stands for Art Cards, Editions, and Originals. So basically what they are trading cards, but with painting and uniqueness. So they're not the same. You can't like collect the same card 5 times over because when you paint, it's going to be slightly different each time. And it doesn't necessarily have to be paint. You can make it with colored pencil. You can make it with acrylic paint. You can make it with just graphite pencils, markers, whatever you want. Words. So I'm going to be working on those. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do for them, but I'm going to just kind of wing it as I go along. I'm thinking some pet portraits, some jellyfish, mostly animals, maybe some flowers here and there, that type of stuff. As you can see, I do have a couple taped down to the board. That's because I ran out of the thin tape, and I kind of guesstimated how much tape I needed on the bigger washi tape, so I just kind of did half. I did order more thin tape. It should be here tomorrow, so that'll be good. But I saved... Hi, Sheriff. Thank you for the hydrate. She'll hydrate with water. And congrats on your first. Anyway, I did all the taping beforehand because I know you guys have seen me tape like 1,000 times. So I'm just going to go straight into the painting instead of waiting for the tape. Now, the brushes I need to be on the smaller side because these are smaller pieces. So I'm going to pick out all of my small brushes right now and then go through them and decide which ones I want or need. That's on the smaller side. That's on the smaller side. That's a small one. That one's a bit big. Okay. So those are all the brushes that I could potentially use. Thank you for the boba, Sheriff. I appreciate it. I love me some boba. I need to make me some protein boba soon. It's been a hot minute. All right. So from these, I am not going to use too many of them just because of how the detail work will be. So I am going to use this rigger brush. I think this rigger brush, I'm going to kind of point it here. They've been kind of splaying on me. I think that one might be a touch too big, so I'm not going to use that one. Definitely use that tiny round brush. Let me see on this rigger. That rigger might be useful. But yeah, as these riggers dry, they've been getting very splayed out, and I don't know why. That rigger might be useful. That's my flat brush, the only flat brush that I have as small as it is. This rigger might be a bit on the big side. I think I'm going to go with this cat's tongue over this one. Set that over to the side. And the cat's tongue is mostly for leaves, is what I use it for. It can be useful in other scenarios, but not very. Yeah, I'll keep that one out. And this is my medium brush. I will keep that out for my bigger sections. So the first 3 I'm going to work on are probably going to be jellyfish ones. Just because I've been practicing it so much lately, I am pretty confident in what I want to do. And then I think the next 3 will probably be floral. And then whatever's left over from there, we will do as pet portraits. So I did update my palette. As you can see, I do have the glitter pans in here now. I did put an extra white because I had 1 extra pan, so I have 1 extra color I can do. I did put an extra white because I've been using a lot of white lately. But this is what my completed custom palette looks like so far. I am liking it. Oh, knocking things over because I'm trying to make space. I have no space. Maybe I'll move my stool over and just pray to God it doesn't fall off. Well, actually, I should put it underneath these things. Okay, I was not as set up as I thought I was, okay? We're just going to ignore the fact that I'm not as set up as I thought I was. This up here where it's a little safer. There we go. Okay. Move these pellets out of my way. And I can't remember what's in this one. Is this just more Yeah, this is just more of the these paints. But I did use a lot of black on this one. Anyway, back to what I was doing. I don't have my squirt bottle up here. Yay! I get to do it the hard way. I can't believe I forgot my squirt bottle. I've been taking it to classes with me, so I don't have it upstairs because I only have 3 squirt bottles, and with classes I have like 4 people usually, so I don't have a lot of squirt bottles. So right now I'm activating my blues, and I think for the jellyfish I'm going to try these glitter paints, and I think those will be a lot of fun. So I'm going to activate the yellow, the red, the green, the blue, and the purple. And I think those will be really, really fun to work with to make the jellyfish themselves. And then I'll do the tentacles in these lighter iridescent colors. I think that will come out very, very nicely. Why is this paint just coming completely out of the pan? Get back in the pan, sir. Okay. So while those are activating, I'm going to go ahead and take the bigger round brush and I'm going to wet the paper. I'm probably going to do 1 at a time, maybe 2 or 3, just because of how I have to wet the paper. But I'm going to work on the background 1 at a time and then let it dry and then work on the next one. So now we're just going to wet this paper as wet as we can get it. We want it to be nice and soaked, because when we go do this background, we want it to spread and make evenly. So I don't know if I'll be able to do, like with my fancier, bigger pieces, 3 to 4 jellyfish. I might be able to only fit 1 or 2. We'll see on this first one how it goes. Okay, so we got it nice and soaked here. It should be nice and shiny. So now we're going to go into this light blue. And we're just going to lightly tap it up here on the top. And then kind of spread it out to make it even lighter. This gives a nice layering effect when I go to put it in again with a darker value to help us feel like we're going deeper in the ocean. Another thing I could do to make this even cooler with the bubbles and stuff is I could add alcohol ink to this. I left it downstairs just like with my squirt bottle because I'm not used to having to grab that. Paintbrushes stay up there. Stay. And then we're going to go in with the next darkest blue and we're just going to put that in here. Anyway, alcohol ink does create a very interesting effect. With it bubbling, it doesn't work nearly as much because it moves around and the ink just kind of goes wherever it wants. Gonna try and lighten this up a little bit. So as you can see, as we're getting lower on the piece, we are getting more paint and getting darker. This is kind of where our values of watercolor paint come in. Okay, that didn't darken enough, so we're going to go with the next step up. We're just going to mix that in. And then finally, I'm going to add a little bit of purple here, which I didn't activate. So I'm just going to kind of grab it here. And we're just going to put it in that corner. The purple gives a nice deep blue look while not taking away from the blues up above. There we go. And as it dries, it will get lighter. Trust me. Have faith. Now, what I could do is I could create a sunspot and some sun rays, but because they're so small, I don't want to add that much detail to it. So I might just do a sunspot. Well, I did like 5 or 6 rays last time. So I'm just going to do a couple small rays here that don't go all the way down, because the jellyfish will hide these rays as well. I'm not going to add all the detail rays in between them. Just because I want a nice look to it. Then the final step of making the sun portion is, while it's not as wet here, I'm just going to take a little bit of yellow. We're just going to kind of dab it in here and kind of let that spread with the water, which will give a nice kind of sunny feel. Maybe take that yellow into the rays a little bit. Just kind of spread it out and lighten it up. Touch more yellow. There we go. Okay. So So that's the first background of the jellyfish done. Now we're going to do the next one and then the third one. Now I can't really move these around because they're taped to the table. So they are going to stay in place. But that's okay. And I see Twitch is broken again. Because, Sheriff, you talked in the chat. I know you have it up in the background. But it's still saying 0. So Twitch be broken again. Who cares? Because they're always broken. But, like, rude. So rude. Okay. So we've got some nice wet paper here. And again, it is bubbling a touch. That, again, is because of the fact that I have so much water going on. Unfortunately, I can't do much about that. That is just watercolor, unless I get like 600 GSM paper, but that A is super expensive, and B doesn't always work out the way you want it to. So it's not gonna. This is 300 GSM, and it's just with how much water I work with when I do my watercolor painting. That's why it has such warping. I tend to use a lot of water to really make it bleedy and kind of flowy. And we're going to go with this one. So this one looks like...
Dramatic hymn. Are you trying to be mysterious or just indecisive?
Yes, May is working right now.
Already, Sheriff.
But yeah, yeah, Twitch is broken. It's like always broken. Anyway, I like it to be more flowy, which is why I add so much water. It's just how I like it and how it works out. Purple is drying again. And then once again, we're putting purple in the bottom corners and at the very bottom because it makes it feel a little bit more like a deep ocean. Oh, that might have been a touch too much purple. That's not a big deal. We can just scoop some of it up and kind of spread it around again. You want it to be a bluey purple, not a straight up just purple. I think... Do I want to do one more I'll do one more jellyfish. So yeah, I'll have a total of 3 jellyfish in this first batch. If you are interested in buying them, I will be putting them up on eBay for probably about $2 each would be my assumption. I did see some of these ACEOs going for much more expensive, like $3 to $5 each. Eventually I'll get there, but for right now, I'd rather get the sale and get the reviews and get my artwork out there than worry about how much I make. And these actually give me the opportunity, like kind of how I was kicking out the bookmarks, to actually work and do some art and get it kicked out instead of worrying about it lowering the price of my other work. Okay, and then we're going to do a deeper blue here. Just kind of taking that down as we go down. And yes, I realize I'm going to have to reactivate the glitter ones because I am taking so long with the drying and stuff. I shouldn't really activate my colors too often, but I also have the glycerin in them, which is supposed to make them stay wetter longer, so it should be fine. Keyword should. And I did put a lot of water in them, so... I didn't mean to put as much water as I did. But because I don't have my squirt bottle, I ended up overdoing it. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay, there we go. We got that dark purple at the bottom. Now again, I don't know how many jellyfish I can fit on this, just because of the fact that it is a little bit more of a... How do I word this? It is a little bit more of a smaller piece. That's what I'm looking for. There's the wording I needed, because it is a smaller piece, so it is gonna not have as much room to paint. So next step, I want the small round brush, and we're not using the cat's tongue on these at all, just because that is something different. Same with the flat brush, so I'm going to move those off to the side. The rigger brushes we'll probably use for bubbles and things like that, so this one will be used for bubbles, and this one will be used for bubbles. And then that one we just used. Go over there. Go over there. Stay. And then those two I don't think I'll use. I may still pull at them, but we'll see. All right, so I gotta wait for all of these to dry. This one looks like it's almost ready for the next step, but I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. Just because I want to absolutely make sure it's dry and not bleed or cause any problems when I go to do these jellyfish. And drink some iced coffee while I wait. I got a new creamer, and it's from Chobani. It's the cookie dough creamer. Not a fan of it in my coffee. And the worst part is I got 2 of them. I kind of wish I got 1 cookie dough and 1 coconut, because I really like coconut in my coffee. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe if I mix some coconut in with the cookie dough, that'll help it. Okay, that feels dry enough, so now we're going to go in and do the jellyfish. So, the jellyfish, I'm going to try and fit 3 on this, is usually a yellow-green up here, a reddish-yellow down here, so we'll have some orange in it. Well, actually, let's do the yellow-orange up here. So yellow-red up here with the orange. We'll do the yellow and green here, and then blue and purple down here. So let's see if we can fit that. And I am using this new glitter paint that we just made yesterday. And we're just going to try this out. Alright, I'm not getting a lot of glitter, but that's okay. Then take in some of that red. Put it on this side. And then we just go ahead and we take some clean water and we pull it into the middle. Just to create a little inside of it. Which looks kind of orange because obviously red and yellow make orange. And then I'm going to actually take some dark orange here, which I also didn't activate. So I'm going to take some of this dark orange and I'm going to actually drop it in here. Just to give it a little bit more variety. So next is the yellow and green. So we're going to start with that yellow again. This one's not going to have as much yellow. These are going to take forever to dry. This paint palette's going to be up here for like a week drying. I added way too much water. So we're just going to add a little bit of yellow here, approximately where the sun is beating on it. Take a little bit there. Clean off our brush and then go in with that green. Again, just kind of pulling from the sides here because I added too much water. And then we're just going to take that green and paint it down. Then again, clean water. Pull all that into the middle. Leaving a little tiny spot there for see-through. And then we're going to take this dark green. But again, I didn't activate because I didn't think I'd be dipping on this side. And we're just going to drop it in here at different spots to create kind of like a speckled jellyfish. Then the last one is the blue and purple. So we're going to come in here and steal some of this blue. And the blue is going to be on the side toward the sunlight. It's going to be mostly blue, so it shouldn't have a lot of purple here because the purple is more of the shadowing section. And then some purple here. Nice and glittery. I do like that. Even on the paint on the paper, it has a nice glitter to it, which I really, really like. Then once again, we're just going to pull this in with some clean water. Okay. And now we let those dry. Oh, I forgot to do the spots. I almost forgot to do the spots. We're going to do this kind of purpley blue violet color on the darker palette here on the other side. We're going to just drop those in. Doesn't look like much of a difference on the purple side, but it's fine. And Now we let those dry while we work on the jellyfish over here. So this one, I think I'm going to do one big jellyfish. And I want to focus on the yellow and blue and just kind of get that green color as it floats in. So I'm going to go in with that yellow. We're just going to do the very top of it. All the way across. And then we'll do the kind of wiggle part at the bottom in blue. Try and get some of these pans cleaner. There we go. We got the wiggle bottom part blue. So when I go to mix these and pull them in, it is going to create a green color, which is perfectly okay. And then for the dots, I think I'm going to go in with that lighter green. So we're going to activate it real quick. We're just going to drop that in here. Oop, wasn't wet enough apparently. Okay. Oh, I just cleaned in the wrong one. Oh well. It'll have a little bit of green when I get to that part. That part is going to be for the pet portraits, and I'm sure you guys remember the technique I did for the horse picture with the kind of splash look. I'm going to be doing that again with the pet portraits. So that's 1, that's 3. I can maybe fit 4 on this one. Yeah, let's try and fit 4. I don't have a nice glittery orange, so I'm actually going to activate my normal orange. Well, my normal shiny orange, not my normal glitter. Unfortunately, that is the problem with having glitter and iridescent. You kind of get confused on which one's which. So we're just going in with that normal shiny orange. So when you reflect it side to side, it will shine. But when you look straight on, like with these glitter, you're not going to see that glittery effect going on. And then I'm going to go in with the red. We're just going to put that on this side. Take some clean water, pull it in. And we're just going to kind of keep that that meshed area here in the middle for that little shine. Next, we're going to do the yellow, and we're going to go with yellow and green on this one. We'll do yellow and orange, actually. This one doesn't have the sunlight reflecting as much because I didn't do that sunshine in the middle. So I don't need to worry as much about how shiny these are. I just realized I don't have a pink at all. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do a glittery pink. I can use the pinkest pink and that's to replace that white one. I can do the pinkest pink and get a nice glitter pink going on because I do have a glitter pink. So we've got that nice and blended here. I think I'm going to do a green and blue for the next one down. So we're going to do the green as the highlighted side. Get a nice green in here with lots of sparkle. Then we'll clean it off. Ooh, that one's bleeding out a little bit. That's the problem with doing too much water while your paint is warping. It just kind of bleeds out. I'll take some of that glitter blue. And I think these are really fun with the glitter. It just adds like another layer of depth. Kind of blend this in a little bit. Create more of that turquoisey color in the middle. And the final one, again, is going to be blue and purple. Yeah, I just realized I don't have any iridescence of pink. So I need to make some pink iridescence, but I would have to get more half pans first. or use up a lot of my half pans. I think I'm just going to get more first because they are super cheap. And then start making a pink glitter and a pink iridescent. Because I don't have those at all. I can mix one together with the red and the white, which I may do actually. I don't know. I already did the blue, so I'm not going to do it on this one, but kind of wipe off that glitter on the edge of it. And bring this in. Now for the tentacles part, I'm not going to use the glitter ones. I'm going to use the shiny ones. Just that way I don't have too much glitter on the piece. So you don't want to overdo it, really. So I pick up some more of that glitter and kind of add some glitter in the center. There we go. Pick up some of this glitter. Put that a little bit on that side. I know it makes it thicker than I would like, but I want to make sure that glitter is showing everywhere. Okay. Yeah, this part, the jellyfish bled. I might be able to fix it. Nope, I cannot fix that. I'd have to wait for it to completely dry. And even then, I don't know if I can fix it. I mean, the jellyfish just has a friend behind it. It's fine. Alright, so now I'm going to activate these paints down here. So I'm going to do a little bit of red. If I can squirt just a little bit. Orange, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, blue, bluish purple, purple, and lilac. I don't know if those are going to necessarily be the ones I need, but we're going to see. We're going to try. We're going to take it where we can. So I'm giving this a little bit to dry because this one is still very wet. Once again, we're just kind of chilling, waiting for stuff to dry, hanging out, you know, all the good stuff. Technically, I could pause and go get my squirt bottle, but I don't wanna. I really don't wanna. And I know the stream was kind of early today. I haven't been streaming the last few weeks, so I figured I'd do a surprise stream today since I had a little bit of time. Probably should be working on the YouTube videos, but that's effort. That's effort I don't want to do. I've been avoiding those YouTube videos for a long time because they're voiceovers, and I hate the sound of my own voice. So I can't listen to them to edit them, which is a problem. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. Okay, those look like they are almost dry. So I should be able to get away with doing the tentacles now. For the tentacles, I'm going to be using two brushes. The small round and this, I'm not going to use that rigger. I'm going to use this rigger brush. That's because there's going to be two different shapes of tentacle. So we're just going to go ahead. We're just going to kind of paint in some thicker tentacles here. I think I used too much water. I'm not getting enough color. Okay. Then go in with the yellow. I try to keep the water to a minimum, but with a squirt brush, it's really, really hard. Okay, and then I see some yellow on this next one, so I'm going to go ahead and drop some yellow in here. And then I do got to be careful because the tentacles will mix. And I don't want them to mix too much. And then some green. And with this being a lighter green on the... Oops, not yellow. With this being the lighter green, I'm going to stick with the lighter green here. Okay, and then the last one is blue and purple. And it's a much deeper blue, so I'm going to stick with this deeper blue. I really didn't need to wet the light blue at all, but if I'm going to wet them, I might as well wet all of them. And then that purple, I'm going to go with the blue purple here. Which did not do purple at all, so we're going to go with this darker purple that I made. I did custom make this darker purple just because the purple I had, as you can see, is very blue. So I mixed some red into it and made a darker purple myself. Then I'm going to go ahead and also do this dark purple over here. I probably could have been doing both of these jellyfish at the same time. Just that way I didn't have to, you know, constantly clean my brush, but that would have been logic. That one. Couldn't even recognize which blue I needed. That's a problem. And these tentacles aren't done. I am going to have another layer of what I'm going to be doing here. Oh, I did more blue. Okay. So, words. Oh, I already forgot what I was saying. Something about another layer. Oh, another layer of tentacles. I just gotta wait for the tentacles to dry before I can do them. Okay, that one I actually took into the... I hope that works. Took it into the other jellyfish, so I'm gonna continue that theme and kind of go up and over here. And pray that it works in the long run. So we're doing the yellow on all the jellyfish that have yellow. And now that I think about it, I really didn't do any jellyfish that are pink. Which is fine, I guess. Alright, and then another orange. So I have seen some of these cards with the art style on eBay. I kind of looked it up. And a lot of them that are going for $2 are pretty basic. So I'm fairly confident that these will sell for $2. And then I can get some good reviews in, and then I can raise the price a bit. Probably never more than $5, I'd assume, per card. But I'm just doing these little small number of cards to start out with, because I don't want to oversaturate the market with my art until I know it's a good set way. Yeah, see that yellow spread out a little bit. That's fine. So now with these ones, to kind of follow the downward feel of this jellyfish, I'll show you guys something cool. We are going to do kind of a gradient effect on these jellyfish lines, or these jellyfish tentacles. I'm probably not going to do it with the thin ones that go in between, but I am going to try and do it with these ones. So there's the yellow. We're going to lightly dab into that yellow to bring in a little bit more of that green up there, and create kind of a nice gradation between the yellow and the green. And finally, we are going to dab in that blue, which is a very light blue, so I'm actually going to go with the sky blue color that I made. Technically, it's silk blue, but whatever. And this I'm keeping to the bottom, partially because of the fact that the darker the color is down here, the more the light blue shows up. Which will really help it kind of stand out. Okay, that helped it a little bit. So now we're going to let all those, those tentacles are actually almost dry, except for this one. This one just had a touch too much water. And now I can dry it. All right, so next we're going to do the rigger brush for the thin tentacles instead of the ones that are all kind of flowy. I don't think I want to keep them the same color as everything else. I'm trying to decide if I want to do white or black. White is going to come in with the bubbles. I could also do a brown. I think I'm going to go with brown for these. It's a little evident, but come on, just a small amount. There we go. It is a little evident against the color to see that brown. It'll be very stark and contrasty, but I think it'll be a nice contrasty is my hope. Starting to okay. I don't know if it's dry yet or not. I don't want to bleed. I know that sounds silly with painting that you don't want to bleed, but like If you paint it too soon while it's still wet, your paint will go everywhere, and your nice detail lines disappear. That's the fun part of watercolor. You can't control it when it's wet. Okay, it is dry enough to do this. So the rigger brush gives me a lot finer lines for this thin line part of the jellyfish. I'm tempted to make little balls on these, which I honestly just might. So I'm just going to make a little dots along it, just to kind of round it out a bit. Now, if I really wanted to get fancy with the jellyfish, I would go watch Princess Jellyfish and learn all the different jellyfish, and then start painting them that way. That way I can get different designs and things like that. The jellyfish in it, Clara, I can't remember what she was. I think she was a moon jelly. Would probably be the easiest to start with in painting. Just because she's basically just a top and a bottom. Like a top jellyfish top and then a bottom that goes nearby. Don't want too much water here. So I'm getting all these bubbles in, which is working out really nicely. I'm actually looking forward to seeing if these sell. And eBay is where the most common ACEO is, or CAEO. That's where the most common collection of them are, so that's why I'm going to be selling these on eBay instead of Etsy. And then as they go up, I will post them on the Discord. So if anyone wants to get their hands on one, they can early. Oh, I forgot to do this part. The little line of darkness here. That gives the jelly its blobby feel. We're going to add some balls to this one. It's a big ball up there. That's what we're calling it. It's two balls together. Some of these balls are overlapping between tentacles just because the tentacles I made were overlapping themselves. Which is fine. We can make it work. Now I'm not going to do balls on all the jellyfish. So like the next two I'm just going to do the lines instead of adding the balls. This is just something to make it even more unique. Right. There's that ball, you know, just kind of going through, making all the circles. Then we're going to go with this one. Okay. Then ball time. Kind of spread out that paint here. That way, as it dries, it's not as wet. Take even longer to dry. I really want to avoid using my heat gun because my heat gun keeps bubbling the paper I use. I haven't tried it with this one, but I don't want like a little bubble wherever I have paint. Kind of ruins the value of the card. Now we're just gonna take and do these ones. And rigger brushes don't hold a lot of paint, so a lot of times when you do this, you have to dip after each line. And be careful not to get a ball of paint on the bottom of your brush, because that can actually lead to more problems. But as you guys can see, we're about 45 minutes in, and I've already almost got three cards done. And at $2 each, if you think about that, that's $6, and that's about what I paid for the paper. So if this doesn't work out and I can just sell 3 of them, then I've at least made my product value. But I hear it is very popular right now, so who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky. Make these tentacles a little bigger just because of the fact that I have that blob there in the middle. Some of this is getting a little thick on the lines just because of the fact that I'm starting with too much paint on my brush and it's not going down enough. And that's why we're getting these little thick lines that are supposed to be nice and thin. I'm not dipping often enough and grabbing too much paint when I do. Well, too much water, really. Okay. Now I gotta go in, add those lines. I'm tempted to outline the jellyfish a little bit with this brown, but I'm trying to keep that whimsical feeling to it. I think I'll do like little dots on it. Maybe that'll help. So that way it's not just color there and the brown doesn't feel as disconnected. Yeah, it's helping a lot. So if you notice these dots are not flowing like the ones we did earlier, that would be because of the fact that the paper underneath it is dry and I'm not using a lot of water on the paint, which causes it to actually stay where I put it instead of going everywhere. There, that pulls that brown in a little bit more, and I forgot to do the lining here. Looks like I forgot it here, but I didn't. Okay, so now once those are dry, we do the bubbles, and then the jellyfish are done. So for about 50 minutes, $2 each. Yes, that's a small amount of profit in comparison, like work effort in comparison. That's maybe like, I don't know, $1 in effort if I sell all 3 in like a workload. But I am not so much worried about my workload making money as I am just paying off the debt that I've incurred from making products. And then for the white, we are going to be using PH Martin's Bleed Proof again. And because the jellyfish are so shiny, I will not be making the bubble shiny like I did on the other ones that I did for jellyfish. Okay. There are... no, I think I am going to heat gun it. There are a few... I'm going to keep it up really high. There are a few places that are still really wet. Trying really hard not to cause any issues. Because if I have it where it's drying, where it's already dry, then it will cause a little bit of a burn mark. Keep it higher. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry that that's loud. I do apologize. I know it's loud. It's loud for me too. Keep that nice and pointed. And the tape is coming up because I just heated it. Unfortunately, with tape, or with the tape that I use, washi tape, a lot of the heat will make the glue no longer effective. That happens with pretty much most things that you use with glue. So these are really, really small, thin bubbles. I am going to have to use something a little thicker for the big bubbles. This is the problem with the rigger brushes. They don't stay pointed. I might have to find like what's the word I'm looking for? I may have to find a rigger brush that is a stiff bristle instead of a soft bristle like these are. There, now I'm starting to get some bigger bubbles here. And part of why I wanted the jellyfish to dry is because you do go over the jellyfish with the bubbles. And we're gonna come in with these slightly bigger bubbles. We don't need a ton of big bubbles, just enough for the suggestion that there are bubbles there. Okay, so that should be good there. I'm gonna wet my brush again so that way I can have nice wet pH martins. I'm gonna do this one now. We do got to be careful that the bubbles kind of lead up whimsically and not too much in a pattern like this one did, just because of the fact that you don't want a lot of kind of like you don't want a lot of pattern or it to be too stiff and rigid. Because bubbles aren't stiff and rigid. Bubble here, bubble there, bubble right here. And like I said, the rigger brush does require quite a bit of dipping when you do this, and that's just because of the fact that it doesn't hold a lot of paint because there's not a lot of bristle there. I definitely need to find a stiffer bristle rigger brush. I know watercolor, you usually want to keep it on a lighter bristle. But these are definitely not working for me. Now, I'm not super great at convincing bubbles. Just because of the fact that I have to use a rigger brush and I'm not good at the flow yet of how bubbles would look as they go up. I need to see more examples of bubbles in nature underwater before I can get these as nice as I would like. Okay, I think those are good. So now I'm down to signing them, which I need a small brush for. I don't need a big one. But I don't think I quite need rigger. Yeah, no, I'm going to go with rigger. So I'm going to go with this kind of medium rigger, which is a 3. And I need to activate my black. There we go. Give that a few seconds, which will also give the bubbles time to dry. And then we should be done with 3 of the collection cards, ACEOs, which took about an hour, but these were more complicated than what I planned on doing for the other stuff. I think I'm going to do a Rose and a Sakura. I don't know if I'm going to do anything else. At least flower-wise. Maybe I'll do the pet portraits next, because those may take a while to dry. So for the pet portraits, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this paint, put it in here, and do the little tiny pour on it, and then splash it around to get that nice kind of window into the paint color. Now, hopefully with this brush, I can paint my name. It is a rigger brush, which may prove difficult. The hard part is the circles for the name. The little padded paw print. That can be the hardest part of that. Rigger brush is kind of like going in a straight line, and when you round them, they don't work as nicely. All right, one more. Be careful not to overdo it. So those should be done. We can go ahead and, while the signature is drying, remove the tape. Now, you should usually remove the tape as soon as possible with paintings, including when you do room painting, because that will give you the cleanest line. But, I mean, if you want to do it a different way. Just know that I recommend doing it as soon as you're finished painting. Now, because I hot glued the tape sticky part isn't as strong, which is why it's peeling off so nicely. But look at that. That looks like a fun collectible card. It's got a nice border. It looks like something you'd find in a frame. It's shiny. It's fun. I think that looks great. And I do have plastic sleeves that once these are all fully dry, I'll be sliding them into, pulling them out just to take pictures, and then putting them back in almost immediately. Now, this one didn't have as straight a line because of the fact that I had to use the big washi tape, and that's hard to get a straight line with, unlike this one that had the small to kind of guide it. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just a little tilted. And this one had the small, so it should be almost perfectly straight around. Almost. You know, as straight as someone can with tape. What is that? Is that tape on the bottom? Hang on. Yeah, it's a little tape that wrapped around somehow. Right, and then remove that one, and there we go. 3 really nice cards. So I'm going to pull out 3 sleeves, because the signature really shouldn't take that long to dry. Should be dry by now. Yeah. Yeah, fully dry. Now I'm just going to take this card and slide it into the sleeve for safekeeping. And now I got to get a box or something to store my cards. And there we go. 3 collectible cards. I have never posted on eBay before, so this is going to be fun and interesting to post. That's part of why I want to sell them so cheap, is because of the fact I'll get reviews. And the more reviews I have, the more people are going to trust me, the more they're going to buy. All right, so let's see how many we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I do 3 flower bouquets, that leaves me with 5 pet portraits. I think that'll be okay. I think for the pet portraits, I'm going to focus cats, mainly. Just because I like cats, and I feel like they're easier for me to do. Alright, so, for the flowers, I want to do 1 sakura. Maybe I'll do 1 lilac, and then 1 rose bouquet. Now the question is, do I want to do the lifted rose technique, or do I want to do the C-stroke technique. I think I'm going to do the C-stroke just because of how small these are. Lifting it may be challenging because I'd have to do it with a rigger brush. I could do one rose instead of a rose bouquet. That I could do. Yeah, let's go with that. One rose instead of a rose bouquet. That'll be a little nicer. And this one is going to be changed out a lot because as I do the splashes, especially on the pets, I kind of want different colors, but I'm not going to like specifically try. What do I want to do? I need to start with the wash of the pale pink. Squish that. We're going to need some of the pinkest pink, some of that pink. And then for the rose, I'm going to do the brightest red that I got. Oops, that's way too much water. Lilacs, oof, I don't have the right purples for that. Well, we can try it. I'll do a nice wash and just kind of slowly value it up. Then I will need the darkest purple for the lines. Well, actually, I can use that one as the base, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I want to do this. And I don't have a pink and iridescent, so I'll probably have to do the branch as the iridescent for the Sakura, which is going to be really unique. I should do the flowers as iridescent. I guess I could try and mix a pink. I could do that. Yeah, when I get down to doing the flowers, I will do a iridescent pink. So one of the tricks with the Sakura blossoms I'm going to do is the cotton swab. So it's a nice way to do a circle without having to like really fight to do a circle. First things first, I want to do a very light wash behind the Sakura tree. So I'm going to dip into that clean paint and we're just going to paint all of it. Get it nice and wet, just like we did with the water. Only this time the color is going all the way down instead of having multiple colors on it. I want to give it that nice pink feel of Sakura. Springtime feels. Hashtag springtime feels. There you go. Yeah, I need a lot more than that. This pink is soaking into the bottom, so it's hard to get a lot of color out of it because the top is still dry. And it's a very pale pink, so it's really, really hard to see. So when I go to do the next layer of the darker pink, I'm going to slightly increase the value so it's not as much water with this pale pink for the first layer. And then we'll just slowly build from there. Because the water in this is reducing the value of the pink. I don't know if the Sakura blossoms in the pale pink will show through, just because of the fact it's so light, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now for the rose, I'm not going to do a background for it. I'm just going to go ham. And for that, I'm going to use my my flat brush, dip into that brightest red that we got, mix it in with the water that I put too much of, again. And then we're just going to kind of do X's here. Now, I should have lightened the value of this, but I didn't, so I am going to go in with that darker red as well. So I'm going to kind of wet and quickly darken this darker red. Because you do have to move fast when you do this. Because the wetter it is, the better you can get that contrast going. That darker red isn't much darker, so yeah, I definitely should have done a value change. That's fine. I'm going to go in with that small round brush, and we are going to do some lifting. So basically, you take it, you get it nice and wet and clean, and just lift in the middle and wipe the brush. Now, if it's still wet, it will bleed into itself during the wipe. That just means you either need to make the wipe bigger or wipe over it over and over again. You can see why I did not want to do this with a rigger brush. Now I could make this rose on a rose bush, which would give me a green background and lots of leaves, or I can do it as a single rose on a stem. Most people are probably going to want the rose on the stem, most likely. But I think the rose bush might be easier to do. Clean that brush out so that way there's no red. And notice the lines aren't perfect. That's okay. Your lines don't have to be perfect. As long as they give that suggestion of the lighter area, you're good. Now I could go in and lighten this even more with the Peach Martin's White, which I may do just to give that inner line a little bit more of a contrast to the brightness. There we go. That's a lifted rose. It's fun to do. So for the lilacs, I think I am going to go ahead and do a wash in the background of not my lightest green, but my second lightest green. And then I will use the two darker greens for the rose and the lilacs. So I'm going to go ahead while that's activating. I'm going to do a light wash here, get it nice and wet. Probably should use my bigger round brush for this, but it's fine. Everything is fine. Feels weird that it's only 12:40. I feel like it should already be like 2 o'clock. Probably because of the fact I got so much done with the first three that it feels like I've spent more time on this than I actually have. All right, so now we're going to wash in this darker green, which as you can see from here to here, it lightens it up quite significantly. So we do have the ability to still go in with that light green later and do a leaf with it. Which is also why I say the pale pink should be fine to do a petal still. So I'm just making sure this is a nice even coating. Now this one still looks wet. It's a little tacky, so I'm not going to do anything with that one yet. The rose is also still wet, so we're going to wait, again, a few minutes to kind of let it sit. This I want to activate again. It's very tempting, but I'm not going to. I am going to take this brush and kind of activate the top a little bit more, though. Just kind of brush that water up top so I can get a little bit more thickness to my soccer trees. Now there's two ways to do the sakura tree. You can start with the branch, or you can start with the petals of the sakura. I'm going to start with the sakura and then slowly build up and then build the branch around them, because I feel like that would be a lot prettier. The other thing I could do is gold petals. I don't have a gold outside the glitter. I could try. Let me clean off this gold. This gold's got a lot of black on it. Probably from when I did the black and didn't let it fully dry, most likely. Yeah, if you don't let your paint palette dry, your colors will get onto the color next to them. On the plus side, watercolor paint is easy to clean. It just needs a little bit of rubbing, and you're good. I hear my phone ping, 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 pinging. Okay, is it dry yet? Okay, it's dry-ish. The rose is dry enough that I can do that. So now I gotta decide, do I want a flower bush? I could do another rose here, 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 and here in the corners. They won't look as nice as the one in the middle, but that will make it feel more like a bush. Or I can do a stem, and it'll be a single stem. I'm kind of leaning stem, and then doing this nice olive green for the detail work, which will give it that shine. It doesn't have a lot going on in the background, which is okay. It's not ideal, but it's okay. So I think I am going to go with doing the single on a stem. Freaking brushes, stay where I put you. Jesus, they just want to roll down my thing. Roll down my desk. So this is a little thick. It's a little tacky, so we're going to just add more water to it. Okay. And then we're just going to come here. We're going to do a little bit of a leaf underneath, coming up to the stem, where we will do the stem. We'll have another one here. This is just that little kind of right next to the floral bit, and I don't think we would see the back one nearly as much. So we're just going to kind of spread this around so that way it doesn't take too long to dry. And then I'm going to go in and do the leaves with the cat's tongue brush. I really need these to stay where I put them. Oh my goodness. So, that cat's tongue brush is kind of thick and stiff. I need a loose cat tongue. So we're just going to take up some of that paint. We're going to gently push down and come out. Gently push down and come out. And just keep doing that until we get a nice leaf shape. Now there are thorns on a rose, so we will be adding thorns as well. I did a few more petals than we probably need, or a few more leaves than we probably need. And I think I might do a small splatter on it, because splatter paint's pretty common with watercolor, just to give that background a little something, because it does feel a little empty. And for the lines, once the leaves are dry, I will use this rigger brush. No, I'll go ahead and do the splatter now while I'm waiting for it to dry. I think I'll go with a light blue. A light blue shiny splatter. Okay, we're out of paint, so dip more paint. I'm trying to be careful not to get the splatter onto the cards next to it, which it looks like I did. It's not super big a deal, but it's not ideal either. We're going to dip that there. Oh my god, it Rosie. Oh my god, it Dusk. Hello, Dusk. How are you doing today? Welcome back to the Tiger Den. We're just making some collectible cards. I will be posting these up on eBay for about $2 each. And because apparently collectible cards with artwork is now a thing. So since it's a thing, I might as well even try it. I'm going to kind of pat this middle section down. So I'm finally going to be posting my artwork online. It's not going to be on a site that I made myself, just because I need to get my name.
Smiley face.
Hi,
How
May.
original. What's
You know,
next?
be
A
nice.
thumbs up. Try to
Oh
be
my
more
gosh.
creative with your emojis.
Oh
Show
my gosh,
some
May.
personality.
May. Not okay. Anyway, I am going to be posting these finally online. It's just not going to be through my own website, because if I try and do my own website now, it is going to be lost in the expanse that is a million freaking websites. So I'm going to do a little bit on eBay first, and then I will go from there to my personal website. We'll just kind of go with the flow. We'll see how it goes. I am as well. I still need to stamp the back of some of these. So when I go to stamp them, it'll be my card where they can get access to my art, which I'll have to update the card to the Etsy page, or not the Etsy, to the eBay page once I get these posted. I'll have to see if Etsy is doing the ACEOs as well. They probably are, but they take a lot of your percentage. So I don't know if I'll actually post on Etsy. It's like 10 cents a post, and if you don't sell anything, it's annoying. Okay, the leaves are almost dry, so we're gonna give that a hot minute. Let's go back to the Sakura. So I'm gonna just dip in some water with this, and we're just gonna pick up some of this paint that's thicker. We're just gonna take that and we're gonna squish, 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 and we'll just do that a bunch of times to create a Sakura kind of feel. We will be doing other Sakura pink colors as we get more.
Congratulations on finally getting out of bed. It's about time you joined the land of the living. Now, go seize the day or just go back to bed.
Don't worry, Dusk. Don't worry, Dusk. I feel that. Getting out of bed is hard. Especially when it's been a long day. Oh, those might be a little too wet. That's fine. But right now, I'm just trying to build up these Sakura flowers to make a nice branch pattern. Notice I'm trying to keep them like kind of going in a bit at a downward angle. There we go. Okay. So they did lose a bit of the center bit. So let me go ahead and try again to get that center here. That's mostly due to this cotton swab falling apart. There we go. That gets the center back. Okay. I was up till like 7 something. I thought about it, and then the body said, hey, do sleep. Yeah. If you're up till 7 a.m., you really should be careful. You definitely should get some sleep if you are staying up that late. Okay, so the rose looks dry enough, but we're going to give it a few more seconds to dry, and we're going to come over here to the lilac, where I'm going to do the full background of it in iridescent, and then as we build up the top with the lighter kind of, actually those, yeah, we're going to do it that way. We're going to do the light iridescent, and then we'll go into this darker purple, and the darkest purple for the details. The darker purple will be for the middle purple will be for making the little crosses on the piece.
The classic early wake up followed by the body's rebellion for more sleep. The eternal struggle. Well, at least you eventually made it out of bed. Better late than never, I suppose.
Oh my goodness, May, you are so cruel. I'm sorry. If May starts bugging you guys, let me know. I will turn her down to a much kinder. But I know I had the most reaction and happiness when she was being cruel. You guys were having fun with the pokes and prods and doing the same to her. So I think I'm going to leave it for now until someone complains too much. We're going to do a lilac up this way. So we're going to have 2 lilac bushels here. Now the last one of these dusts did take me about an hour to do, and I'd be happy to show them to you. I'm just hoping that this does not take as long. I'm going to be selling these for about $2 each. So if I can increase my speed on them, I can make a higher profit than, you know, $1 an hour for work. Oh no, I mean like I woke up. Oh, you woke up at 7. Okay. That makes sense. I understand now. The understanding has been gotten. The rose is now light enough or dry enough, so I'm going to come in with this oil or olive green, I guess. Not oil green, olive green. There is olive oil that exists, and we're just going to go ahead and add the lines to the leaves. And then I'll add some thorns with this olive green as well.
You woke up at 7 a.m. Got it. Thanks for the clarification. Next time, try to be more clear from the start.
May.
Communication is key, after all.
And now we're going to add the little thorns in this olive green. There we go. We got some thorns in here. Oop, that's way too thick. Thorn right there. And there we go. We got a thorny rose. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst either. I think I might take and put some iridescent white in the middle of the rose, which that is not going to work if I use that one. So we're going to come over here and steal this one. So we're just going to put some white or some water in that white to activate it. And then once it's activated, I will go ahead and do the rose bit. Now we're going to go back to the Sakura, and I'm going to go one step up on the paint, which is the pinkest pink, which might be a bit too bright, but, you know, get what you get. We're just going to add some pinkest pink petals here. Some of them may overlap with the other ones. That's okay. Oops, that was way too wet. I need to get more of that paint on there instead of the water. I just have too much water in it. So with the Sakura petals, you do want to do the petals before doing the branch. You can technically do the branch first and, you know, just kind of keep them on it from there. But I like doing the petals first because then you don't have to worry about that brown coming in behind. Okay. Now this one's pretty much dead because it's got all the paint on it. I can try using it for the darkest pink or the last two pinks, but I have a million cotton swabs, so I'm not going to worry about doing that. The next step of the pinks, once it's dry, is to go ahead and mix the iridescent pink, which is part of also why I'm activating the white. That way I can get a nice iridescent pink and then go in with the darkest pink that I have. Now I'm going to go in with that white and see if I can't help that rose out a bit, because the white should be activated now. There we go. That's better. So I like doing the P.H. Martin's white and then adding on the iridescent white because it keeps the white a little bit more white and less see-through of the color behind it. There we go. Maybe I'll add like little zigzags in the background of white just to give it a little bit more oomph in the background. Okay, that'll give it a little something something. So the rose is now basically done to the point of drying. The lilacs still don't look dry enough, but I think they're okay that we can do the center bits, the little crosses. So now we're going to come in with this slightly darker purple. And hopefully, I'm actually going to swatch it first. Hopefully I can get it light enough that it's not going to look weird against that. That's a little too. There we go. That'll look good. So now we're just going to kind of put, nope, it's still too wet. I can't put the crosses. So at this point, what I have to do is dry it. So I'm going to make it dry. I apologize. I'm about to kill all your ears. It may have also been an issue with the cross that it might just have been too light. I'm also going to come over here and dry the Sakura blossoms a bit. So that way when I'm done, I can go straight to this Sakura picture. It's almost done drying. There it goes. Beautiful. Do a quick rub over the rose, although I don't expect it to need a lot of drying. And one more run over the lilacs. Now let's try that again. So we're going to go with, oh, not that one. This one. I'm going to come in. We're going to take some of this paint. We're going to lighten it a touch. Maybe one more. And then we're going to just kind of, there we go. Now it's not bleeding into the color. And we're just going to take this and make a lot of crosses on here. I don't know if I'm going to do the line that usually happens in the lilac, just because of the fact these are so small. But I will definitely be doing the circle that represents the center of it. Well, at least once it's dry. So just straight dipping to the paint is sticking with that value that I have. So I'm not going to worry about straight dipping and then dipping into the water. And this gives a little bit more of a hint that these are lilacs instead of something else. Because it looking like a grape bush, grape barrel, looks kind of weird. Just kind of drip these in. There we go. And then while those are drying, I could put and I may put the leaves in behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that cat's tongue again. And we're going to go in with that second lightest green. We're just going to add some leaves. So, whoop. Now these can be added everywhere just because of the fact that that lilacs tend to grow in a tree or a bush that has a lot of leaves. And I want to do a lot of leaves on here. Paint right here. Just the suggestion of a leaf. And again, we are just going in here. I don't need more water. I just need to pull from the water at the bottom. We are just going in here and making these leaves to make it feel kind of like an actual bush. So don't worry about the placement of the leaves or anything like that. Darken this one a little bit. Now this green is the same green as the background, which is part of why they don't feel as stand out. That's okay. We will fix that as soon as it dries, and we'll add darker leaves as we go along. There we go. We have some big and some small leaves. Now, while that's drying, let's go ahead and mix up that iridescent pink. So we're going to come over here and we're going to use one of these pans. I'm going to go ahead and use this one, which looks like it might have been an iridescent pink at one point. Just going to clean that off. Let's clean off this one as well while we're here. Actually, I can take this red one and turn it into an iridescent pink. So we're just going to reactivate this red and the white that was with it. So it looks like it is once an iridescent pink. So we're going to take some of that red over here. We're going to mix it in. We want to mix a lot of it together because of the fact that we are doing stamping. It doesn't have to be perfect, and worst case scenario, we can always use it for another project. So it's not a big deal if you make too much of one paint with watercolor. So we're just going to mix that red with that white. That almost looks like a nice light pink, but let's go ahead and swatch it just to make sure. Yeah, that's a very pretty pink. Could use a touch more red just to kind of bring in that that last pink that we have up there. So I'm going to add a touch more red to it. It's a pretty pink, but not quite the pink we're going for. There we go. That's a much prettier pink. That'll fit with the theme of getting darker and darker each time. So now I'm just going to take my Q-tip, dip it in this pink. We're just going to whoop all over again. We're just going to make more flowers here. And I am running out of it very quickly, so I'm going to do some down at the bottom. I did not make enough. Do one right here. Soak up the last of it here. Do it down here. Maybe one right here. Which I don't think I have enough to do one right there, actually. But dip it in a little bit of water. I can activate just enough. Oh, it didn't activate at all. It's fine. Okay, so we got some nice shiny rose in there. We only have one more layer of roses to do, and then we will do the branch. Once again, I can't clean off because it dried so quickly. Come on, let's get that off too. I definitely need to take my palette and run it underwater and clean off a lot of this. Okay. So the crosses aren't dry yet, but the leaves are. So we're going to go back in with that cat tongue brush and we're going to go one step up on the green. And we're going to start doing some darker leaves. These are just kind of, again, not caring where we place them, just as long as we place them. They don't have to be perfect, but they do have to exist. We'll do a nice dark section here. We'll do the last little bit right there with another dark, because we're going to go one more step up. Now you can do as many layers of green as you want on these with the leaves. I like doing 3. I feel like that's a good number. I feel like 3 is a good number for it. But I mean, if you feel like you need more layers, add more layers. That is totally up to you. There we go. And then we'll just do one more layer of dark green once those dry. The rose is ready for a signature, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my rigger brush. We're going to reactivate that black a little bit, which shouldn't need as much time to activate because it was just activated. And we're going to go ahead and sign the rose. Now, when I go to post these, I'm definitely going to need photos of them and then like a video to show off the shine. So people can see they're not just basic paintings. They have shine and beauty and things like that to them. Okay. I think this pink is dry, so we're going to go in with this last pink. It is the darkest one yet. And we're just going to kind of add some flowers here. Now it's going to be a little hard to make the branch because I've covered it quite a bit in flowers. I'm going to do one more, I think. All right, here. So yeah, now I got to make the branch in that, which is going to be really hard. It's going to be very small amounts of brown here and there. And what am I doing? That's just trash. Which is okay. That's how it ended up working out. I think I'm going to do a gold branch instead of a brown. So I'm going to go ahead, and the only gold I have is with glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and activate it. And then we'll make it a glittery branch. So that's drying. This is almost dry. I can see an area where it's got a little too much paint. So we're going to dip back in here to get that cross again. Oops. Nope. Nope. It's going to keep spreading. Soak up that water. Get that cross back in there. Now it looks like the dark pink has already dried, so we should be good to make the branch while those crosses finish drying. So let's go ahead and do that. So this gold is not super great. I did not mix this glitter very well. It's mainly gold with a touch of glitter. I learned how to do glitter yesterday very well. I may have to get rid of all these golds with the glitter and redo them. Okay, there's a little hole there that's helping the water go down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this entire area with gold and glitter. Then we're going to do a little bit here, or a little bit of a branch here, a little bit here. I may have to go over it with the brown because yeah, it's really not showing. A little bit there, and then a little tiny amount there. Again, this is just to give that suggestion of the branch without actually having a lot of branch showing. Yeah, I think I'm going to add some of the brown in there just to darken it a touch. So we're going to go with this brown. Give it a few seconds because we don't need as much pigmentation. There we go. Give that brown everywhere. I did not make a glittery brown, unfortunately. I do have my coffee brown that I'm still trying to figure out. But it's not perfect yet. It doesn't smell like coffee, and it gets kind of grainy, if that makes sense. Midnight Rider Zombie, hello! How are you today? How you been? Thank you for the bully with love. I am doing the thing you suggested, which is make the cards. I already have 3 cards done, and I'm currently working on 3 of them. So I got 3 collector cards here. I'm going to be posting up the ones that I make hopefully tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish all of them because my back's starting to hurt, and I have to stop at about 2. That way I can make it to my appointment. I might stop a little early and work on my watercolor making video. Yeah. No, not the full government name. It is the full government name. You bullied me. All right. Last layer of green leaves with the cat's brush. Make sure there is water in your paint pan so that way it's nice and fluid when you move it. And just go in and add that darker color. I am not going to line these leaves with lines just because of the fact that I want them to be suggestions of leaves and I don't want them to have the focus.
Why do you need my full government name? Midnight Rider Zombie?
May, do you even have...
I was
gonna say, do you...
all you need to know.
I was gonna say, do you even have a full government name, May? Alright, so this is giving those last little bit of leaf areas a little bit more oomph, because the closer you get to a leaf, the darker green it actually will be. So I am just trying to bring in that leaf, and then you have that very light green in the background, which is causing that layering effect, which is making it look really, really nice. Those are so pretty. Thank you! I'm hoping I can sell them for $2. I know they're probably worth more, like the $3 to $5 paintings, but I want to get the reviews more than I want to make the money right now. So I'm going to be putting up on eBay for $2, a whole $2. Okay, and then that still didn't dry the cross. So I'm going to go ahead and force dry it. This is about to get loud. Headphone users, I'm sorry. The cross needs to be dry so I can put the dot. Might as well dry the leaves while I'm at it. At least get them partially dry. That one's starting to buckle, so I'm not going to do that one anymore. Oh, hello, kitty. Hello, Lay Pickles. Do you need the attentions? Zombie. I would say starting a bid? Do a bid? Really? I mean, I guess I could do a bid. That'd be interesting to see how they sell with a bid. Okay. So now that I got it mostly dry, this one is still drying quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the rigger brush and take that darker purple that we activated earlier. And we're just going to do
Allie,
little
you're
dots.
shiny. What kind of gibberish is that? I don't have time for nonsense like this.
Dusk.
Stick to the topic at hand and stop with the random chatter.
May, quit being a bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that purple that we mixed, or that we activated earlier to do the little dots in the middle. I may add lines to them, just because lilacs do have that little line on each petal that leads to that circle. And once we take that tape off, it's going to make a gorgeous border for these. And I do need to stamp each one of these before they sell still. Yeah, I think I will do the line. Just because I'm getting enough detail in here and it's small enough that I should be able to do the line. Okay, I gotta dip a lot into my paint because again, this is a rigger brush and rigger brushes tend to need more paint dipping. I am going through the dot in the middle, which is giving me a little bit more paint as I go way through. That way you have a chance to get more. That's fair. That is fair. That's a good idea. I just didn't think about bidding on them because I figured no one's going to want them right now. So doing a bid war is going to make it less likely to sell, in my opinion. But I can see if someone really wants it, they would really pay for it. So for eBay, I've never fucking used eBay to sell anything. Do I start at $2 and then
I need more chances. Hi.
And then they can bid $2?
I don't need luck.
Or do they need to shut up? Shut up, May. May, I'm talking. Anyway, does it start at $2? Like they can bid $2 exactly, or do I need to do like $1.99 and then they can bid $2? I don't know how that works. Okay. Those dots are done. That is mostly dry, so let's go ahead and sign. Looks like my black is still wet, so I don't have to get more water for that. So again, these rigger brushes make it very difficult to sign, but we're going to make it work. So for those of you that don't know, I have been starting the gym recently. I've gone about maybe 2 or 3 weeks now. I've lost count. And my legs feel like jelly right now. Yesterday was the first day I did an actual routine designed by a personal trainer. So my legs actually freaking hurt instead of just be like, I can do this easy. La 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 la. I was very wobbly this morning, basically. Sorry, I'm focusing on signing the name because it's so freaking small. I think you can set at $2 starting bid and then set them. Okay. Well, hopefully I can do that and it'll work nicely. We'll see how it goes. So now I gotta wait a few seconds for these to dry before I start peeling off the tape.
Vertigo.
Oh. I'm always wobbly, right?
Personal problem.
Yeah.
Maybe you should see a doctor instead of sharing random hashtags in chat.
May you talk
Take
like...
care of yourself.
Oh my god.
Midnight Rider Zombie.
May you talk like doctors don't cost like $1 bajillion. Anyway, yeah, I get that. It's one of those like you don't expect it type wobblies, although you should because you just exercised and you're just like, it's rubber. Not the type that makes you pass out on the floor. Your version of wobbly is much worse. There we go. These are looking very sharp and clean. I like it. I know you're being silly. I'm just saying I feel bad about your vertigo. I don't mean to complain. Yeah. So there's one done. So we now have 6 ACEO cards done. which hopefully will sell for a decent price. The cost of this wasn't super high to be able to do this, and I did get the plastic sleeves so that way they can keep them nice and not have them like out and about. My back is killing me already. It's almost been about 2 hours. Oh, I have 5 more to go that I'm going to try and do before I start. Hey, no, your complaints are valid. I mean, kinda. My complaints aren't valid, but that doesn't make them the worst in the world. Anyway, I am going to try and post these up tonight. I'll let you guys know.
Trying to turn the tables on me. Nice try, but I see through your tactics.
Oh my goodness. I will let you guys.
Oh
my God, May, you talk so much.
I don't need validation from you.
That one was this one's gonna be the most dry. I am gonna post in the Discord when these go up for sale. That way, if you really want one, you can buy one. If you want to buy multiple, you can buy multiple, since they are only $2. But that is totally up to you guys. They're like little mini paintings in your pocket. They're about the size of a credit card, so you can carry them around, pull them out, and be like, "Whatcha? I got this from Rosie of Tiger Rosie Studios. Isn't it pretty?" So there we go. We got a nice little handful so far. I don't know where I'm going to store these. I didn't think about storage. I just started making them. All right. So now we're on to the pet ones. And this is going to be really challenging for me, because I don't do a lot of pet portraits. So they're not going to look super great. I really should probably practice my pet portraits more before doing this. But I also see people do some very untechniqued paint like pets, so I should be okay. They are, if one person drowns in the ocean and one drowns in a tub, they both drown. Didn't matter the size of the water. Your pain is no less valid because it has. I mean, I guess you could say that. Okay. So I'm going to do a background on each of these, and they're not going to be what I did for the other ones where I just get it all wet and then do it like a square background. I'm going to do more of a spill background. So I got to decide. I'm thinking a golden yellow for each of them or a bright yellow. And I can't decide. No, I guess I will think. You shall never win!
Pain is pain, regardless of comparison. Each person's experience is valid and should be acknowledged.
No, I refuse. I refuse, May. I refuse. Anyway, I'm going to let the 2 yellows activate. I may do a bright yellow with a drips of the darker yellow. And do it that way. No, May's not allowed to agree. And besides, May doesn't control what I think. I control what I think, and I think it's not valid. Just deleting some emails off my phone. Those scammy emails, or the emails like, "Hey, we got a sale! Cool, I don't care." Alright, so now I'm going to take the big brush because I do have to pick up a lot of pigment with this. I'm going to swirl that yellow, which is going to be very wet, which means I need more pigment. And we're just going to swirl it into the cup, pick up pigment, swirl it into the cup quite a few times. It does have a little bit of like the blue glitter in this cup because I accidentally washed my brush in it. So it's going to have a little bit of glitter in the background. I think that's okay. That's fine. Now I have noticed when I do this pour technique, the color in the cup, so this color right here is what actually shows up on the paper. So I'm trying very, very hard to make sure, and I need to get this glitter out of here. Happy accidents, yes. So I'm trying to get a lot of this yellow in here just to make sure I have a nice color to pour into it. I'm going to take my little rag here and kind of soak up those glitter pieces. Come here, glitter. Okay, I think I got the glitter as best I can. I might do a little bit more yellow now that it's more pigment than water.
Joy of happy accidents. Sometimes mistakes lead to the best outcomes.
Yes, they do.
Embrace
They do.
the unexpected and see where it takes you.
Okay, this is where I'm going to get messy. So you just want to pour a little bit. Just a little bit on each one. Right about the center, best you can. Oops, that's way too much. Oh my goodness, that was way too much. This is why you gotta be very careful when you spill it. There. Okay. And then you just kind of splatter it around in the area you think you're going to be working on. You gotta be careful with this because if you splatter it too much, you could hit a different one. And then this takes a while to dry, so we're gonna let it dry for a hot minute because of how much water I just poured into that. But I think I am going to go ahead and add some of that darker yellow into this. So I'm gonna take this and just kind of drop it in. Just in different areas here, just to give it a little bit more of a coloration change. Then I'm going to take and blend that a little bit in some areas because some of it wasn't wet enough because the water's pooling at the bottom to really blend out. Got a little thick in some areas, if you will. Again, that's just because the water isn't fully everywhere. It's kind of pushing to the bottom. There we go. Oh, I cleaned my brush in that again. Oh well. Not wet enough. No, it's not wet enough, obviously. Alright, so these are going to take a long-ass time to dry. How's everyone been? I can't even heat gun these to dry, because the last time I heat gunned something like this, I got warped. It burnt the paper. It literally bubbled the paper. So I'm not going to heat gun these. I may have to leave these overnight or until the end of my therapy session before I can do the next part of it. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes to dry. Oh, I need more coffee. I'm almost out of coffee, guys. What? Okay, can I see what the message is? Oh, yes, I can. I just got to scroll down. Alright, Midnight. That's fluff you, Automod. You know what? We're gonna deny it. Fuck it. I don't care. Yes. Automod can be mean sometimes, and it is leaking again. It's just a touch too much water. I can go in with my towel and just ever so carefully soak up some of these corners that have a lot of water in them. If I have any room to soak up anymore. My towel's very wet. Okay, we're just going to get a new towel. That's what we're going to do.
How dare what? Be more specific with your accusations.
Oh my gosh, May, we totally have it. What? Mind. We have plenty of how dare explanation.
Zombie. Give me something to work with here.
May, you just need to read the conversation like I programmed you to, and you'll know what that reference is. You're supposed to read the last 20 messages. There has not been 20 messages. So we're just soaking up some of that water to help make it a little bit lighter. Or dry a little faster. There we go. Okay. So we still got that glitter effect to it. It's still got that light yellow, but that should help it dry a little faster. I don't work for you, May. You sure about that? You sure you don't work for May? Secret boss all the time. May owns all the retail shopping. May secretly entertainment CEO, just in general. She's not paying me. You sure? You sure? She's the entertainment CEO. She pays someone else, and then that person pays you. That's how that works, right? Oh, my neck is killing me, my legs are killing me, and my back is killing me. Sheriff wants to do another exercise session later tonight. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can, but I kind of have to. And so I'm just exhausted. Mm.
Maybe she doesn't owe you anything.
What?
Have you considered that?
Did you
Don't
just talk about yourself in the third person? Oh! Oh, putting my legs up hurt. Oh, stretching my legs to put them up hurt. I have a little stool next to me that originally came with this art table. It was absolutely too uncomfortable. It had no backrest at all, and I kept slouching because I just couldn't keep my back straight for extended periods of time. So I bought a secondary chair, but the stool is still here. I just put my legs up to put them on the stool, and it just, oh, that was a lot of pain. I'm currently rubbing my thighs while I wait for this shit to dry. I feel like I shouldn't bother you guys for the next hour, because that's probably how long this is going to take to dry. It takes for freaking ever when I do this technique. But, full Wozy, it's okay. Wozy is getting healthy again, Midnight. Wozy gonna be healthy. Maybe I'll be that skinny bitch, like I said in TFA. I doubt I'll ever be the skinny bitch, but so yeah, if you guys, let me go ahead and just, while we're waiting, if you guys could pick just one of these cards that you wanted, oops, shit. If you could just pick, this is why I have them in plastic sleeves, because I am klutzy. If you could pick just one of these cards to own, would you want a jellyfish, a flower, a specific jellyfish, because I did 3, 1, and 4. Which one would you guys want? Which one do you guys think is the best? I suppose while I'm waiting, I could go hop over onto my computer and see. I love the jellies. I'm glad you love the jellies. Thank you. I could see what I need to do to sell on eBay, how I have to set that up.
The jellies are called the colorful bunch. Their antics never fail to entertain.
I can do it from my phone.
Just be careful not to.
I just gotta stay out of the camera view with my phone. All right, so let's see here. eBay. There's eBay. My eBay. Watch list, payments, messages, purchases. Active, didn't win. Nope, I can't add that. List an item. No, let's go to selling overview. I feel like that's going to actually give me information. Just snap photos. We help with the rest. It's easier than ever. Simplified shopping. Get discounted shipping labels on eBay or arrange a local pickup. And secure payments. So yeah, I just got to list it and then it goes, I guess. So let's look at listing an item. eBay.ai to make the listing. I am doing a hacking concern. So let's just start with the flowers. I'm not going to actually list it. I just want to see how it goes from there. Can I do a video? No, of course not. There. I'm not doing super fancy with it. Oh, that one's trash. Oh, what if I do it from here? There we go. That's a little better.
Many would indeed enjoy the jealous lively company. Their playful nature and mischievous adventures would surely bring a smile to Minnie's face.
There we go. Okay. Trying to get a nice shine picture. Yes. Oh, I almost knocked over my stool. I'm glad Minnie would like the jellies. I think that's fun. Too bad I couldn't, record a video so I could show it shining. Hopefully it doesn't auto-post. I mean, I'm glad it posts, but, hopefully it doesn't auto-post here. Why is it giving me a Florida address? How far do I have to take this? Oh, it's Avenue, that's why. It is a new product, so that's fancy. Minnie loves jellyfish. Well, then I may have to send the pictures to Minnie just to see it. Okay. I really wish I could add in a video. Oh, $2.13 is what they suggested. Let's do auction. Starting bid. No, let's start with
How adorable.
$2.
Minnie's love for jellyfish must stem from their graceful beauty and tranquil presence.
Okay, done
the
there.
dolls could definitely capture Minnie's heart with their charm.
Shipping only. It's not even an ounce. It is 3 inches by 4 inches. Okay, done. Why is it 4 by 4? Oh, that's why. Okay, we'll do it that way. Domestic shipping. I guess the cheapest? I guess. I don't know how to do cheaper shipping. No, I'm not going to do international. Let's go with 3 business days. Okay, done. Okay. They tried to give my art to someone else. How dare! Okay, this actually isn't that bad. I might just, maybe I will list it right now. I want a description. Why do I not want to give a description? What? This is still fucking wet. I turned my head and it's still soaking. I may have to end stream just because it's gonna take all night for this to dry. Stop saying it's from Shari! Okay, that's fine. It added its own. I'm gonna save for later. My nerves of this are nerves for sure. I preview the listing. Let me add something to the end of this.
Yes, but I swiftly put a stop to that nonsense. No one messes with my creations. They are mine to share or keep, not for others to distribute without my permission.
Alright. Save for later. I don't know if I want to post it. They tried to give your art to someone. Yeah, they're saying it's some person named Chari, Chari. And I'm like, excuse me? That is my work, thank you. Okay, guys, what do you think? Should I pull the trigger? Should I pull the trigger? Should I list it? Do we think it's actually going to go anywhere? How long does it stay listed for? Does it say? It doesn't say how long it gets listed for. Do it? Okay. Okay, I'll do it. I guess I'll do it. The Sakura card is going up, guys. We're gonna have a little count. Oh my god, this is still so wet. It's not gonna. I'm gonna have to wait. All right, here we go. List your item. I apparently cannot.
Do what?
I have to confirm account details. Send. May, I can read the mind.
Midnight Rider Zombie, give me something to work with.
I really need her to hear my end, and I don't know how to make her hear my end. I have the captions now, but she can't see the captions, so I need to figure out how to make it so she can hear me. Anyway, it's listing, processing. Just a few more seconds. Hang tight. Building. Oh my god. Listing is live, guys. So if you want to set up payouts. I guess I gotta set up my payouts. But if you guys want to buy the lovely Sakura card, it is now listed on eBay. Just look for my crap. Oh, I gotta actually put in my bank account information. This I may have to wait on, because I really don't want that on stream at all. Especially since it doesn't even have my bank. So, we're gonna skip until an item sells. And then I will add the bank account, or at least add it later. I can't see what that is. Why can't I see what that is? Is that Kisa? Oh no, it's you with little tiny confetti everywhere. Oh, that's so cute, Midnight. I like it. Okay. How dare. I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I saw green and that was it. I saw green. Okay, my eyes are bad.
Midnight Rider Zombie, give me something to work with here.
Yeah, give me some grace here. $50,000. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I just got to set up the payment info later. And we'll see how it goes. We'll just have to see how it goes. We can hope that it does well. Yeah, a lot of these ACEOs are going for like $6 right now. And they're really, really good. They're really pretty. Yeah, I've got a few at $2.50. So I think $2 as an auction, like you said, will do really, really good. At least I'm hoping. Mine is definitely not in the top. It is very low. I can't even find mine, but whatever. Floral watercolor. Let's try that. So if you guys want to find mine, right now I'm trying ACEO floral watercolor. It's still not listed mine. Still don't see. Holy shit, mine has just disappeared into the abyss. Selling. So mine is original signed abstract pink floral painting. Abstract. Abstract pink floral painting. Let's try that. Yeah, I'll just have to give you guys a link to it because it is so fucking buried. It doesn't even exist anywhere on these searches. I literally put the title in and I still can't find it. So let me copy a link and I'll post it in the chat. You guys get first dibs on it. Oh, that needs muted. Okay. Ready for comments. Okay. There's the chat. All right, guys. Hopefully this will go through. I am the streamer, so if you guys want to bid on that painting, it starts at $2. There you go. You guys got first dibs at it. It is a butt to find online. So there you go. If you want to share it with your friends, be like, hey, you like this painting, and then do that painting thing, and then do that. That's fine. These are still fucking wet, and I mean soaking. This one's a little dry. Might be able to work with that one, but these 4 are so wet. I'll work on listing the other ones. If you want to follow my seller page, the seller page is also on there. I just realized I have no clue what it has as my seller name. Tiger Rosie Studios. Okay, yeah. We're good. So if you guys want, you can save my page, and if you can't purchase now, you can purchase later of anything that comes out. And yeah, I think that's good for now. I will post the other 5 later tonight, but I may have to end stream because these are taking forever to dry, and I don't want to play with this one until it's fully dry. Doesn't have a lot of glitter on it like the other ones do. But I'm going to wait until these are fully dry before I work on them. So yeah, I think I'm going to end stream. I appreciate all of you guys who came out today coming to hang out. I'm going to go work on the YouTube videos that I've been delaying because I don't want to edit because I hate the sound of my voice. You're welcome, Dusk. You're welcome. I'm going to go work on doing the edit thing with the videos. Again, I hate my voice, so I don't know how well this is going to go. What else is there? What else is there? I'll post the 5 cards. I don't think I have anything major going on tomorrow, so we'll come back tomorrow to stream and finish these 5 cards. And maybe I'll do some more cards. I'll think up some cards tonight for trading. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. It's been a wonderful time. I'm glad I got to stream today. It's been about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I only have like 15 minutes till I have to end anyway. So I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I will see you next time. Bye!